April 13, 2022. World War IV update and other news. ITV News reported that a Ukrainian woman whose son is fighting in Mariupol told her that they haven't received any food supplies in 47 days and they are out of ammunition. Mariupol is expected to be annihilated in the next 24 hours. Russia calls it liberation. Last year, the Mariupol population was about 432,000. In the next 48 hours, it's predicted to become zero. The largest city to be captured by Russia so far. They have received no food or munitions since the start of the war. Mariupol is a port city on the Sea of Azov, which feeds into the Black Sea. It is a land bridge from Crimea to Ukraine. CNN reported that there are 180,000 people left in Mariupol right now. Fox News reported that all the Russian ground forces are coming across in a massive wave from Luhansk, Donetsk, Mariupol, and further south. They quoted a U.S. military official saying, "I think you'd go so far as to say all their ground forces are either in the Donbass, Luhansk Oblast, or the Donetsk Oblast, and then in the south, arrayed all the way from Mariupol down to Mykolaiv," the official added. If you look at the map, there is a large river that flows through the center of Ukraine and into the Black Sea. If Russia defeats Ukrainian forces in the east, Russia will make a mad dash to the river Dnieper. Dnieper will become the new border for a moment until Russia stages for Phase 3. Odessa port is key in stopping Ukraine from importing or exporting anything by sea. They will be landlocked. It is also the perfect staging location for an invasion of Moldova. The people of Odessa love their city so much that I don't think there will be an Odessan left if Russia wins. I don't think they will want to be alive if Russia wins. TFI Global reported that Putin's endgame is to continue on to Kiev after the next two phases are complete. I don't think he'll stop before he has complete control of Ukraine, and he won't be able to allow the population to remain. Every time he does stop, it'll simply be to move armament forward to launch the next phase of his attack. Here is a painting of Peter the Great. Here is a map of his conquered empire. Here is a photo of Putin the Greater. And those are the three people whose territories he has his eyes on. Even Peter the Great's empire did not include their territory. Biden will do nothing to stop him. He has the EU on its knees. Erdogan has to beg him to buy him an ice cream cone. If one of these countries tries to nuke him, their entire country would be obliterated. I only see one person stopping him at the end: Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. BBC reports that 4.8 million children have been moved out of Ukraine. Those are the lucky ones. TFI Global reports that Serbia and Kosovo are about to go all-out war. Oh, and China has been sending missiles into Serbia. Clinton bombed the crap out of that area for 11 weeks in 1999. Trump tried to work something out there, but EU sabotaged his efforts. Real America's Voice Ticker says that China has stranded 30 million truckers under the guise of COVID precaution. So they locked down one of the biggest cities, Shanghai, with 26 million population, where no one can go out to buy food. And now they are preventing truckers from delivering food throughout the country. The Communist Party did this a couple of times before in China. They intentionally starved to death their opponents within the country. God help the poor, freedom-loving people of China. China and Russia are now prisons. NASA says Earth is safe from asteroid collision for the next 100 years. Asteroid comes from the Latin root aster, which means star. Apophis, meaning chaos, is the Egyptian god of darkness, and it is the name of an asteroid that came close in 2004. It is due to come closer than a satellite at 19,000 miles from Earth on April 13th, 2029, which is a Friday, exactly 7 years from today. They anticipate if it did hit, which is close to 3% chance, that it would hit the west coast of the U.S. and could easily darken a third of the Earth with debris. I have seen reports ranging between 1,115 feet and 1,209 feet in diameter for its size. Wormwood is the name Revelation gives to the star or asteroid that hits Earth. It is an herb that is bitter, and so would be the aftermath of such a collision. Could even affect the Earth's rotation, I'm thinking. Crossroads Highlights reported that Deutsche Telekom already has a contract with the WHO for international vaccine passports. The WHO is already moving toward being in position to dictate through sanctions against countries if they do not comply with their edicts. Bill Gates already said another pandemic will soon be on its way, and worse than the previous one. I'm sure he'll see to that. RAV ticker reports South Dakota AG got impeached by state legislature, all because of my news video on the subject. Kristi Noem is Batwoman, and I'm Robin. Well, maybe it helped. APnews.com reports that it now goes to a Senate trial and requires 2/3 majority to convict. Ravensborg said that he's looking forward to it. That's like saying you're looking forward to a root canal or a colonoscopy. Yes, sir. May I have another? They also reported Department of Labor says inflation is 8.6% up from a year ago, highest in 40 years. As I've mentioned previously, when you factor in the price of new cars, gas, food, and housing only, it's more like 33%. This midterm election coming up is the last free election you will have in this country unless you work the polls and ensure they are honest paper ballot elections. Funny how right after Biden starts talking about taking away your guns, another mass shooting in a blue city. The Orange County Register reports this guy wore a gas mask, threw a smoke bomb, fired off 33 rounds, and hit 10 people in a New York City subway station. Investigators say it was a 9mm semi-automatic and jammed. They found evidence linking the scene to a man who had addresses in Philadelphia and Wisconsin. 5 people are in critical condition. Today they apprehended the suspect. They also reported that a woman has been pushed to her death in front of a train there a month ago. I got crept up on by a gang waiting for the Long Island Express there once. I started twirling around with my bass and my suitcase until they backed off and then the train rolled in. That was about 40 years ago. Gilbert Gottfried died at 67. His annoying voice was his shtick, but I like that little guy. God bless his family. Associated Press said that he had a rare genetic muscular disease that caused it. He didn't have a lot of big hits, but still made a good bit of dough, especially for a comedian. It's not easy getting up as a baker early in the morning after working stand-up all night. Good news story of the day comes from goodnewsnetwork.org. Researchers from Stanford University constructed a photovoltaic cell that harvests energy from the environment during the day and night, avoiding the need for batteries altogether. The device makes use of the heat leaking from Earth back into space, energy that is on the same order of magnitude as incoming solar radiation. The setup is inexpensive and in principle could be incorporated within existing solar cells. It is also simple, so construction in remote locations with limited resources is feasible. I like it. I also saw a video of people curving solar panels like a magnifying glass to focus solar radiation, like when you burn leaves as a kid with a magnifying glass. Have you planted seeds for your garden yet? Make sure you do everything in your power to stock up for you, your family, and surprise guests. The number of refugees once war comes to the U.S. will be huge. If Biden was any kind of legitimate leader, he would call on every American to start growing gardens everywhere, like they did in World War II. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to continue to do these reports. Please pray for me. I need help in every way from health to wealth. Stay informed and be prepared for the long haul. Thank you for watching The Horn, and have the best day of your life.